Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Maggie and Ferocious Mondays. Today, we'll be reviewing not just our last segment of Season 1, Episode 13 of Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, but our last episode of Season 1 of Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Season 1, Episode 13C, The Really Big Show. In this episode, Maggie, the Ferocious Beast, and Hamilton decide to put on a show for their friends. The trio plans individual acts to perform for their audience. Hamilton decides to showcase his magic tricks, Maggie plans to recite a poem, and Beast decides to do some dancing with the help of Sidestep the Crab. Now, this episode, I feel like it was a great way to end off the season. I feel like it was really good. We have all of our characters. We have all of our characters there. It's just, but I was about to say we have all of our characters, but we really don't. Because where is my boy Rudy? Where is Rudy? You know what's even sad? Maggie doesn't even mention him in her poem. Like, come on. Like, why? Why did they have to do this to my Rudy, my beloved? Why did they have to do that? Okay. Aside from that, I'm just gonna pretend that they forgot. I'm just gonna pretend that they forgot one of my favorite characters in the season finale. I'm just gonna calm down. But anyway, I just love all the acts that they do, because at first it's just Hamilton and Maggie. Hamilton's performing some magic for her, and then he says, I need an audience. And that's when Maggie decides that we should put on the show for all of our friends. And that's when the Beast hops on board with the idea, and he says, I want to do some dancing. And when at first he's starting to practice some dancing around Hamilton, he says, I need to focus. So then he goes on over to the beach, and he thinks there's no one to disturb there, but Sidestep the Crab gets disturbed, and he's like, is there any type of dancing you can do without you making a lot of noise? And Beast just says, I was just making it up, the dancing part. Like, he's trying so hard, like, but on the bright side, I'm surprised that Sidestep showed up in the season finale. I'm surprised. I mean, last time we seen him was like in Walk the Walk, which was like, I believe, episode 2B of this season. Yeah, I think so. So he says, luckily he decides to help Beast, and he says that I traveled all over the world and I know a lot of exotic dances, so he decides to help him, which was really sweet. You know, we mostly know him for being like a somewhat of a homage to like an Oscar the Grouch type of character, but deep down, he's a really big softie. He really is. So when it's finally time for the show, we have all of our characters except Rudy. We have the Big Duck, we have the Jelly Bean team, we have Medley, and we also have the Moose Sisters. So yeah, we have a good variety of characters coming back for the season finale. I like that. And I like how at first Hamilton was pretty nervous, and also Maggie, I love her outfit. It is so cute. She has bows in her hair. It's just, I'm a sucker for bows. I'm a sucker for girl characters with bows, and she has a cute little dress. She's just adorable. Just adorable. Because, should I associate Maggie as a tomboy? Should I? I mean, something's telling me she's somewhat of a tomboy with a girly streak, like one of those type of characters. Like, to me, there's two different types of tomboys in cartoons. The tomboys, like tomboys of girls that like are super, like, they don't mind getting dirty at all. They're pretty, like, I want to say Maggie is like on the tomboy level as like Uniqua from the Backyardigans. Like they're both like have like are a bit tomboyish at times, but they have like a girly streak to them. like a girly streak to them. So yeah, take that in for as you will. And at first Hamilton's pretty nervous, and his magic starts to go good when and also I love the little trick that he did with the jelly beans when he had volunteered one of the green ones be one of his to be his assistant. And when he said there was nothing inside the hat, he pulled out the purple female jelly bean, and the green one asked, "How did you get in there?" And then the purple one, she said, "I don't know." that's the magic about magic. You never know when it happens. It could be anywhere, anywhere. But yeah, and Maggie's poem is just so adorable. This poem right here just signifies to a T that she is the creator of this world. Like how she mentions, and I also love how she mentions sidestep, how she says even though he's not in the crowd, and she tried to check at home, she was still in his poem. That was so sweet. She mentioned the Moose Sisters, the Jelly Bean team, and when she said at the poem, "Now it's time for my bow." That was just her poem. Her poem, I can't think of any other person who could say it better than her. So go watch the episode, cause her poem. If I had to ask, if I had to rank, um, like Maggie's poem always left a special place in my heart. So I think for nostalgia wise, her poem might be one of my favorites acts from this episode. And then we have the Beast, and Sidestep introduces him, and I like how he just rips the whole stage curtain apart. Mind you, we're gonna have another episode. I believe in season 3 that's fully about them putting on a play. But we'll talk about that later on. And he does a very like Mexican style dance. He has the sombrero, like the little wrap around him, and he does it so well. Sidestep keeping the beat for him with his crab claws, and at one point he looks at Hamilton and he kind of blushes, which kind of made me laugh. Would make me laugh. And him just honestly stealing the show. If I had to be honest, his act, they're not lying. Save the best for last, and he most definitely was the best for last. So yeah, overall, I think this episode was a great way to end off this season, minus one of my favorite characters not being there. But I have to take a deep breath because be in he will be in our next season premiere next time. But yeah, this episode was just a great way to end off the season. We got to see all of the characters that we got to know from the past season. Oh, did I mention that the big duck was also there? Like, um bestie, if you're watching, I think she showed up for you because I know how much you love giant things. So yeah. And before I sign off and give out my rating, sorry, I want to thank you all for joining me on this ferocious journey through Nowhereland. I feel like that's something Maggie would say. And I'm just so happy that, I feel like when I'm doing these reviews, I feel like I'm representing the fan base just that just used to love and tune into the show when it was still airing in in Canada and in America on Nick Jr. So yeah, and I just want to thank you all for anybody who enjoyed my reviews, anybody who loves them. I also want to apologize for on some days that I was absent. On Mondays I was supposed to post the reviews, but something you should know is that the day I'm going to post this is actually going to be the day before a whole year ago I posted my very first review of the first episode, my one and only box. I'll show you proof right here. Look. See? This will be uploaded the day before. This is going to be uploaded a whole year after, a whole year the day before I started doing these reviews. How ironic is that? And I'm surprised I managed to get it on there. Get it on this day. So is that just a sign from the universe? Is this gonna happen next time when we wrap up season 2? Maybe so, maybe not. I want to say probably not. Probably not. So, as for my rating, I'm giving this episode a 10. This was a great way to end off this season. And, well, all I can say is, we're not done with our adventures yet in Nowhere Land yet, people. We still have 2 more whole seasons to go, and I can't wait to see what else Nowhere Land has to offer for us. So, tune in with me next season, actually. Next season. It's ironic how, my last video, I also wrapped up another season of another show I reviewed. If you guys know, you know. But, yeah. So tune in with me next time as we'll be reviewing our first episode of our next season, Season 2, Episode 1A, Hamilton Blows His Horn. See you all next time. And for the last time this season, I end this video greatly with a great, big, great googly moogly.